Hello, this is the Indigo experiment, and welcome back to more of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Last time, we defeated the imprisoned for a second time and sealed it away once again. For how long? Well, I don't know. This time, we're going to go back up to the sealed temple and finally get the Gate of Time open. Well, I won't say once again, because there's no evidence that it's ever been opened before. What are we waiting for? Yeah, still, I can't believe how hard that was. I mean, honestly, I've beaten the game before. And the last part of the game is easier than this part. Hell, I mean... Wow. 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 That's all I need to say. He still has a stupid laugh. Aww. I honestly think that Groose is a really good character because of this. Huh. Do you think it's Girahim's master? The thing is, it seems to be reviving itself pretty well. All by itself, without his help. I think I'm going to save first. Right on, Granny. I think I'm... See, if I were less obscure, I would fully expect that phrase of just me going, right on, Granny, to become a huge meme, but... I'm obscure. I'm fine with that too, as I've made abundantly clear. So let's grab this fairy. Might as well charge myself up to full power by sitting down. And I'm just gonna save again, because honestly, I'm paranoid. If I save once, I save 50 times. You should see me in PC games that have a quick save function. F5, 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 or in Half-Life's case, F6, 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 over and over. The Tetris of the gods. And there it is, the Gate of Time. Just like the one back at Lanairu. Oh. The one that was destroyed. We can see Zelda again now. No. What are we waiting for? Oh, this is what we're waiting for. Here's a hint for you. If it comes back and I'm not there, aim for the toes. Aww. I mean, really? Groose? He's developed so much. Mostly off-screen, and yet he's such a great character still. Oh, was he about to show respect for me? Aww. I don't know why I find Groose so adorable. I mean, at the beginning of the game, he's a massive jerk, but now, he's seen what he's up against, and his response after he stopped whining like a little baby was make a giant cannon to murder it. Anyway, let's go. Let's go see Zelda again. Finally talk to her face to face after so long. So long. Here we are in the Temple of Hylia.
Hey!
So that's his name? You've come so far, Link. I'm glad you made it. I imagine Impa filled you in on everything. We've traveled very far from home, to the distant past. In this era, the wounds inflicted on the land during the battle between the goddess and the demon king known as Demise have not yet healed. All the fairy tales about that war we heard growing up in Skyloft, incredible as it may seem, they appear to be all too real. I think it's time you learned the whole story. Let me try to explain. The old gods created a supreme power that gave anyone who possessed it the ability to shape reality and fulfill any desire. They called it the Triforce. In his thirst to make the world his own, Demise readied a massive army of monsters for war. He sought to take the Triforce for himself by force. The goddess feared for her people. She used her power to send both them and the Triforce into the sky on a slice of earth she cut away from the land. This floating rock became the new home of our people. In time, it came to be known as Skyloft. After a long and fierce battle, the goddess Hylia succeeded in sealing away Demise. However, soon after the Demon King was imprisoned, it became clear that the seal would not hold long against his fearsome power. Hylia had suffered grave injuries in her battle with the Demon King. She knew that if he broke free again, there would be no stopping him. And if the Demon King were to free himself, it would mean the end of the world for all beings of this land. In order to put an end to the Demon King, Hylia devised two separate plans and set them both into motion. First, she created Phi. She made the spirit that resides in your sword to serve a single purpose, to assist her chosen hero on his mission. Her second plan was to abandon her divine form and transfer her soul into the body of a mortal. She made this sacrifice, as you have lightly guessed, so that the supreme power created by the old gods could one day be used. For while the supreme power of the Triforce was created by gods, all of its power could never be wielded by one. Knowing this power was her last and only hope, the goddess gave up her divine powers and her immortal form. You've probably figured it out by now, haven't you, Link? You are the chosen hero, and I, Zelda, I am the goddess reborn as immortal. The day of the ceremony, Garahim's tornado tossed me out to the sky and down to the world below. I was nearly captured by the demonic forces, but I was rescued at the last moment by the old woman who lives in the sealed grounds. I had no memory at all of my existence as Hylia, but she explained it to me. She helped me to remember who I was and what I had to do. I set out to pray at the goddess statues located in each temple across the land. Each statue stirred up memories within me. As I visited them all, Impa, an agent of the goddess, led me here, to the past. All of this is part of the same great effort to prevent the revival of Demise. Stripped of his true physical form by the seal that binds him, he takes the shape of an abomination. But even in his hideous state, he's more than capable of devouring this land if we allow him to do what he desires. We must stop him from freeing himself from the seal that imprisons him, at any cost. That is why I intend to remain here in this time and place, to sustain the seal as best as I can. As long as I continue this vigil, we may be able to prevent the Demon King from fully reviving himself in our own time. I must maintain this seal that that I created so long ago, and keep it strong for as long as I am able. With the memories of my former life returning to me, I can see now that this is my purpose. Link, the goddess created Phi and the great blade she is a part of for very specific reasons. For the task of standing against Demise, the monstrous form he now assumes rests solely on your shoulders. Back in our own time, you've already driven him back into his prison twice now. I can't thank you enough for that, Link. I promised myself I wouldn't break character. I'm sorry. Anyway, during your long journey, you've grown so much. You learned wisdom from solving devious puzzles and traps. You gained power by honing and tempering both yourself and your sword. And by overcoming the trials set before you by the goddess, you found true courage. Now that those qualities reside in you, you are worthy of wielding the power the old gods left behind for our kind. You can claim the Triforce. Valiant hero, you have endured many hardships and journeyed far in your quest to reach this place. Along your travels, you have found wisdom, power, and courage, and for this I shall bless your sword with the goddess's power. May it give you and your sword the strength to drive back the abomination that threatens this land. He still doesn't have the Triforce. The mark you see upon the back of your hand is proof that you are the hero of legend, and that within you dwells sacred power. It is the mark of the Triforce. Stand now, Link. Draw your sword. Link, before I say another word, I feel like I owe you an apology. You see, the mark of the Triforce on your hand is a symbol of the greatest power in this world. If you can obtain the actual Triforce, we will have the power to vanquish demise once and for all. The problem is, among the countless souls in this world, only a select few, those with an unbreakable spirit, can wield its might. It's impossible to know the true reason why the old gods created the Triforce, but I have a theory of my own. The gods created the Triforce, yet they specifically designed it so that their own kind could never use its power. Somehow, I think that may have been their way of giving hope to all the mortal beings of the land. Which brings us back to you. To face demise and give the land hope, the goddess Hylia needed someone with an unbreakable spirit. That someone is you, Link. But spirit alone wasn't enough. You had to overcome many trials and awaken the hero within yourself so that you could wield the supreme power. And so I knew that if it meant saving Zelda, you would throw yourself headfirst into any danger, without even a moment's doubt. I used you. I can't begin to tell you how sorry I am for pulling you into all of this, Link. But you have to understand, this is a war, and the fate of the land hangs at the balance. I need your strength to tip the scales in our favor. All that may be well-intentioned and true, but it doesn't mean it's right, and it doesn't excuse my actions. But I'm prepared to pay the price for what I've done. To ensure that the seal holds, I will remain here this time, deep in sleep for thousands of years. Link, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry for the way I had to involve you in this. But until my memory of things before our lifetime returned to me, I had no idea we were fated to carry such a heavy destiny. Before all this, I was happy just spending my days hanging around with you in Skyloft. I wanted that feeling to last forever. While it's true that I am Hylia Reborn, I'm still my father's daughter and your friend. I'm still your Zelda. When Demise is finally gone, there will be no more need for the seal that binds him, and then I'll be able to wake up. So, I'm going to ask you a favor, Sleepyhead. Ever since we were kids, I'd always be the one to wake you up when you slept in. But this time, when all this is over, will you come to wake me up? Well, now we know what that crystal is. And what amber relics are. They're pieces of Zelda's coffin. So, before we go, I'd like to make a few remarks on the music in that scene. Most of it was Zelda's lullaby, which was, well, something that, it was basically a magic song that in Ocarina of Time, or Ocarina of Time, I think. I don't really know how it's pronounced. I've always pronounced it Ocarina. Proved your connection with the royal family and helped to open various gates that only a member of the royal family did. Or, well, you know, your affiliation with the royal family, at least. You weren't actually a member. So, also, when he was drawing his sword, and it was being forged into the true Master Sword, that was the Master Sword's theme, which, well, happens every time it's drawn in various games, with probably some exceptions, I don't know. But one more thing is a theory that I have. This might take a little while, you can go to the next video if you're not interested. But I have a theory. You might have noticed that things in Zelda happen to come in threes. The 3 pieces of the Triforce, the 3 golden goddesses, all that sort of thing. Normally there are 3 different... Well, the groups of things that you need to get in the games usually also come in threes. The 3 spiritual stones, well, the 6 medallions, which is 3 times 2, I guess? The 3 shards of the tablet thing in this game. The 3 sacred flames. You know, there are only the 3 goddess pearls and Wind Waker. The 3 fused shadows, and later the 3 pieces of the Mirror of Twilight and Twilight Princess. I could go on. But the only exception in a 3D game I can think of right off the top of my head besides the medallions is the 4 masks in Majora's Mask. But even then there are 3 transformation masks. And a whole bunch of other random ones. So, I think that, well, there are probably 3 guardian deities of the Triforce. Hylia was one of them, she represented wisdom. The one that represented power was lost to history. But the one that represented courage was the fierce deity of Majora's Mask fame. That if you get every mask, you can transform into the final battle by getting that mask. Oh wait, no, there are actually 4 if you count the Giant's Mask, 5 if you count the fierce deity. But anyway, the fierce deity fought alongside Hylia against Demise. And probably the power one too. The one who represented power died very early on. And, but a tiny bit of him managed to filter into Groos's bloodline. So, but the fierce deity, in a pitched battle against a demon known as Majora, and his high priest, or her high priest actually, whose name has been lost to history, but who is known only for his eerie smile and equally creepy laugh. During that battle, the fierce deity sustained fatal wounds. He was going to die, and his power was going to, it was going to fall into the hands of the enemy. So, Hylia did the only thing that she could have done. She took out her harp above her friend, her fellow guardian, who was bleeding out on the ground, and she played the Song of Healing. Half of him, most of his divine powers, went into the fierce deity's mask. The rest of him went free, and eventually found its way into the body of a mortal, who, although he had never before even handled a sword, suddenly found himself with great skill in it, as well as, the bow and various other weapons. His name has been lost to history, but in various texts he is known as the one link between the mortal and the divine. He fought alongside Hylia, and, survived. Of course he eventually died because he was mortal, but not before he well, created offspring. And his children had children, and the bloodline was passed on uninterrupted. Well, that's, I guess, my theory there. I put a less developed version of it up on TV Tropes that also suggested that the god of power was actually the Desert Colossus, but I can't think of any evidence to suggest that, or, you know, it just seems very far-fetched even by those standards. At least the fierce deity is somewhat similar to Link. So, also, one more thing before I go. When the hero of time put on that mask in the final battle against Majora, he understood everything. The fierce deity was finally completely together once again, resurrected. He understood everything, and, well, that might be why he looks the way he does in Twilight Princess as the hero's shade. So, I guess that's about all I need to talk about. This has been the Indigo experiment, and we're done here. I'll see you next time.